Okay, we got something different for you today. Of course, we're always trying to put something out that's a little bit different, so you'll have a choice to go through some of the videos that we have and just pick out what you like to make. We're always trying to do something different. So we decided to make this, and this is a photo prop. It's what they call it. It's a little trike. You put your child on it, and then you take pictures. You might put a little background, some kind of little background or something. You know, just to take pictures and stuff of them. We just thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're trying to get in maybe to some of the kid stuff, toys and stuff like that. We got some new stuff coming up here that we've been working. We want to show with you guys and share with you. So really simple to make. Now I made this out of 2x6, no 2x8. So it's actually a 2x8, and I cut it down, and I end up with a 1-inch board. But I'm going to show you today with 1 inch. We're just going to go ahead and do it with a 3/4 inch. So that'd be easiest lumber, because some of you guys can't cut it down, and you just go ahead and make it out of just regular boards. It's going to actually be this right here. It's going to be a 1x8. This is just some pine wood. It's about 5 foot long. So if you get a 6 foot, I don't know. Normally I always seen like 8 foot, but you can buy 8 foot. Make a couple of them. That's really nice. So nothing hard about it. Just maybe cutting some wheels out. You'll have to do that with the. If you don't have some of the bigger tools that we're going to cut them on, then just go ahead and use a regular hand jigsaw and take your time. Just be careful. Don't cut yourself. Same thing as this up here. We're going to probably use bandsaw on it, so you just go ahead and do it best you can. A little bit of sand and stuff on it. And then paint it whatever color you like. You maybe paint it 2 or 3 different colors. That'd be nice too. I mean, you can do all kinds of things with it. So this is what we're going to make. Let's go ahead and show you. Let's get started. So first board's going to be a 1x8. And what I did the 1x8, see, I made that at a 7-inch wide. So I cut it down. I took that. They keep cutting the lumber down. You know, if it's 8 inches, it's clear down to 7 1/4. You know, it just keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I took off that 1/4 inch and made it 7 inches, you know, even. So like I said, I really try to keep those numbers easy for you to do. So the first thing we have, we're going to do the seat part. So we need to measure out the seat. So the seat's going to come out to, I got everything written down, of course. I always write things down in my book. That's kind of hard for anybody to, I mean, I can understand it, but you probably couldn't. So let's start here. We're going to come down to 14.5 inches. So we're going to need a line across there, 14.5 inches. All right, now the second line I'm going to need is that in half. So cutting that in half. We don't want to cut it in half. Now we're going to put a line in the middle of it. And you'll know what the line is when we get it started. But you need that line now. You don't want to put it on later, because you'll find out throughout the video. If you watch the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. So half of that would be 7 inches would be 3.5. Okay. So get that line in the middle there. All right, we'll put this in. Okay, put this off the side. It's off the side now. The next thing we're going to do, it's like I said, 7 inches across here. So we're good here. Now we want to measure out the front here. So the front is going to be 3 inches. So we want to go to the center again and measure over. Just go to the center, measure 3 inches over, and put a mark here. Come down here, put another mark 3 inches over. This is just like coffee lid. You can pick, maybe you can use a paint can if you have a paint can, a paint lid, something about that size. And what we want to do with it is just kind of put it, because see, it almost matches up, the coffee lid almost matches up with 6 inches across. Okay. But we just gave it an even number. Just do this right here, and then one right here. That's all you have to do. If you find something about 4 inches round, then, you know, you just... Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Put them on the outside. put them out further. Not this one here. We don't want that one. Okay? We don't want this one. We want, because I'm trying to follow that line. That's not the way you do it. Just bring it clear out to the edge. Just like that right there. Here. Okay? Because what happens is it's actually wider on the back and then more narrow here in the front. So then you take your flat level or ruler or whatever you got, and then you would want to just put a little line through there like that. I know it sounds like you're putting a lot of lines in it, but that's about the easiest way I can find out how to do it. Now, this in here, this is going to be the, you want to make sure you mark it and know where you're going to cut. Okay, so we're going to cut on this line. Little X's are nice. And then we're going to cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here. Okay, so just make sure this comes on the outside. I was following this line like everybody else. I mean, just make sure you cut on the outside. I was just following this line here, which that's not the way it is. So it's 7 inches on the back, 6 inches on the front, and then we'll go ahead and cut this out. Take it over to the sander and we'll sand these edges off. Now if I had a smaller blade on here, I could probably turn that pretty nice, but I'm not going to go ahead and force to get around that and ruin that blade, but the sander will do it. It'll do a nice job. Let's go over to the sander. Okay, there you go. That's our seat. So next thing to do, next step, I'm going to go ahead and run a router over it. It should be all set up for it. I cut the last time I used it. I cut it with. Made that chair right there. And a little bit of sanding wouldn't hurt. Just do a little sanding here and there. There. Where's our seat? All right, let's go ahead and put this off to the side. Get some of this dust here. Now, this is the handle. This is that top piece. Let me bring it back up again so you guys can follow along. This is going to be this piece up here. And what we have for that is a 9 inches. So it's going to be 9 inches long, 1.5 inches by 2 inches. So that's basically what you're going to get here, like this. And I kind of run the router over top of this too, just all sides. I try to keep everything without any, you know, jagged edges or anything like that. You can just sand it if you'd like to. But we're going to run the router on that. That will be the handle, part of the handle, that part that comes up. Okay, so that's your 9 inches, 2.5, or 9 inches by 2 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay, so this actually takes, for that handle, for this other part right here, this part, it takes a 3/4 inch. So it's going to take 3/4 inch dowel rod. So you're going to need a couple dowel rods. I'm going to go ahead and probably just measure down from the top. I'm going to come down to 1 inch. And then the center of your 1.5 inches, okay? So that's how I'm going to do mine. So I'm going to drill me a hole. I'm going to drill a hole right here. Okay, we drilled a hole in this one. Now, of course, we didn't get it quite on the center, but that's still okay because what it does, it brings that bar back a little bit closer to, you know, the child itself. So we got two things done. We're not here to make sure that it's done perfect. We're here to just have a lot of fun building things. Okay. So we want to go ahead and get this part here done. So this is where the center of this thing comes in hand. Okay. So I'm going to put a mark here because I cut mine on the wrong side because I wasn't paying attention. I really need that line here in the back, and we're going to do that right now. Okay, so now we're going to have to put that right here like this. Okay, and that's why I wanted you to put the, you know, the line on the back here, so you'll know where your center's at. And then we need a drill. What kind of drill we want today? And I'm going to pre-drill 2 holes, countersinking here in the back. We're just going to use this one here. I don't want to put too many holes in that because I've been making wheels out of that. So okay, let's go back. I think I went 1.5 inches. That's what I got, where it starts at. So I went back 1.5 inches. And then if you put your block up here, you can just go ahead and mark behind it. Or you can just do another 1.5 inches. So let's put us a couple. Let me go through my table. I won't tear it up that quick. Okay, got 2 holes here. Now you can go ahead and glue these. I'm not gluing it because I'm going to tear this apart. And this one here, I'm going to make it a couple different colors. So it's a lot easier to paint it when you're tore apart. But we're going to put it together just for you guys. But just not glue it, that's all. It's on fast, man. It's really on there. Get your line in the middle here. I'll put it on wrong again. Just sometimes you have days and sometimes you don't. Get that thing lined up real nice. Oh yeah. And then of course our rod will come in like this. And then what I did the other one, I put a little staple here in the back just to kind of hold it, but I also put glue in the other one. So we got this much done. That's pretty neat. All right, our next part, we'll go to, I'll tell you what, let's do the back piece. And the back piece is, so we got our old trusty board back up here again. So let me double check this other one. Yep, that's what I put on there. So 6.5 high, or let me get this out of there. Let's move it up. So we're going to mark 6 inches. 6. And I think I have 9 1/4, some odd reason. So 9 1/4. 1/4. And we're going to have to cut that. Okay, and then we're going to have to cut the 6. First thing we want to do is cut this piece and then cut that piece there. So, okay, so we have 6 inches by 9 1/4. Just go ahead and you can lay anything up here and then just make a little mark around like this. We're going to just round off the edges so they're not kind of pointy there. And then the bottoms down here, just you can leave them straight or do whatever you like to do for the bottom. So we're going to take it over to sander and sand this. This piece here, this is the back. Let's show you again. This is for our back piece back here, okay? And excuse me. All you have to do is this. I didn't do anything. I didn't put no router. You can router if you want a router, but the only thing I did was just go ahead and sand it off. That's all I needed to do for that. Okay, so we got the back piece. We have the seat, the handlebar, things done. So now we need there's a couple other little pieces here, and it's going to be this piece right here. And this is a real easy one to cut. and then these two right here. So okay, let's put this over here. Let's see what we got. So we need a piece. It's actually 6 inches, so we need 6 inches by 3 3/4. So let's see what we got here. So I'd like him have them, you know, a certain way you want to set these. I would like to have it straight up and down, the grain kind of going straight up and down. It don't have to be laying down. So if I do that, I need a 3. Well, let me go ahead. Let's do this one here. Let's go to a 6 inch here first, okay? So I'm going to make it 6 inches long, like that. And then we're going to go 3 inches here. I think I got, let me see. Yeah, 3 3/4 here on top. Okay. Down to a 1.5 inches on the bottom here. Okay, so we're going to go 1.5 inches down here. Okay, this is the only piece you're going to need, but you see right here, we're going to need that, so we need to go cut that and get this piece out of there. Look at that. That's all we need. So we have this piece cut. Let's go ahead. That's, like I said, that piece goes down here. So let's go ahead and keep it off to the side. Now we need to make these pieces right here. So they are, take this and keep it on the side here. I have those 6 inches. So it seems like I'm sticking with the 6 inch. I have an extra piece of board here. I think I cut off of there. So it will be 6 inches, so we need 2 of them by 3 3/8 wide. So let's go 3 3/8. All right, 3 3/8. Okay. So that's our 2 sides. We cut that, and then 6 inches long. So we got to cut that down too. All right, let me go cut these up. Okay, you just need to give me a little something to line here. Go around, and then I'm going to cut one and then turn around and mark this once I get it cut. We got 2 of them cut, so we're going to end up putting a hole here. So we need to put a hole in the center. Now, the thing about this is, let me move this off to the side, is when you make these, of course, you have to make sure that your distance from here to the floor is going to be the same. If you can't see it from the distance from here to the floor. See what I'm saying? So both these have to be 6 inches long. If they're not 6 inches like the back, exactly like the back, then your wheel's it's going to be tilted up, or it's going to be tilted down. So you want to make sure they're the same. So if we was going to put holes here, let me give you a measurement on that, and I would do the same thing is I cut those. Let's go from the top down. It'd probably be better to find the center. So 5 inches. So it allowed me 1 inch. So I need to come from the top down and put me a 5-inch mark here. Okay, now you need to find the center. Okay, I'll run over to the drill press and I'm going to put 2 holes in this, and these are 3/8. You need a 3-inch dowel rod. That's what we're going to use for this. That's going to be the little axle. So I'll go ahead and drill this and be right back. Okay, we have them cut, centered, and I also have them routed. So if you want to route them, it's fine. If you don't, just go ahead and sand them. That's okay. If you don't have a router, like I said, you can still make these things. Make a lot of things. You don't have to have a router. You don't have to have special tools. You can cut this out with a scroll saw or hand saw, wherever you want to do. So we just try to make things simple as much as we can so you can follow along. So we got them all marked up. Okay, 1 inch, actually 1 inch from here, 5 inches down to the center. So we got the center of this board. And basically it's going to be the same for here. For these, you'll measure from the bottom up 1 inch to the center. Okay, so we have a couple holes we went ahead and drilled. We're still using 5/8 dowel rods. So these are about 3 inches. You can make them, depends on how far you drill inside your wood here. And of course we came up 1 inch here and came up 1 inch here, found the center, and then of course it's got to be same. Like I said, if not, it's gonna be tilting, or one side can be lopsided. These can be, the holes inside can be as long as they want, with the dowel rods. What I do, I end up putting a wheel on it, and then I'll just trim it up later. So, okay, now let's go ahead and set these off to the side. We're gonna go back and make a wheel. These are all made out of 6. They're 6 inches by 3/4 inch. That's the size wheel, and then of course the center piece is going to be 3/8 drill bit in the middle. So let's go back to the saw and we'll cut up a wheel. Okay. Find the center. Now these boards, when I cut these, I normally make them 7 inches by 7 inches, and of course they're going to come out a 6-inch wheel. And then in the center, it's just a pilot hole we have here for our little stud that we're going to be sticking in there. I'll actually go ahead and do it now, and then line that up on a 6-inch mark. Okay, and then go ahead and cut it. All right. Okay, I like round off like that. I think it looks pretty, like a little wheel. You know what I'm saying? So we got a couple of them already made here. I just have to finish up that hole in the center of this. And we did cut, what do I do with it? Here's the front axle. So we're going to put an axle through here like this. Wait a minute, get a wheel in there. That would help. And then be something like this here. Okay, now same thing as these ends. What I did, I don't think I need that 5 inches, but we're going to cut it anyways. Okay, now I went ahead and picked up another, this one here is 3/4, and I drilled a hole in the middle of it. And of course I used a drill press, but you could, if you was holding it, maybe holding it down on something, had something clamped, or even this way clamped, and drill a hole and just maybe go through just a little bit at a time, because you you're going to eventually get it to go crooked going in there. It's kind of hard to get them centered, but if you get them on drill press, it seems a lot easier. And I just cut little slices off. They don't all have to be the same size, because you can sand the ends down on them. And these will be the things you glue. If I would stick one here, and then I would glue that on there, and then of course you don't want on this side, of course, and then take the saw. Now I want a little bit of play in there, so you don't want it real close. You want a little bit of play, and then cut it off. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put it in here first, and then we'll come back and cut it. That way we'll know how much we're going to space these two. So we want a little bit of a space. So if you want, I go from here back. I think I did. Let's see. I bring it back a 1/2 inch is what I did. So I actually just bring it from the center back about a 1/2 inch, and then I put these two right here. Now there's a little bit of a trick to get these, but let's go ahead and put this here on first. The reason why is because it's going to have to help hold this up. Okay. So now this one, I just kind of centered it, bring about a 1/2 inch on the back side here, and then centered it this way. Of course, we're going to need something to help me hold it up too. Put a little bit of blocks under there. There we go. Okay. Something like that. And I did it by eye. You can run a measure. You can run a roller over it. 5/8. About 5/8 by 5/8, and then just kind of look at it that way. We're going to need a drill here, and use about 1.5 inches, about 1.5 inch screw. And we're going to countersink these in there. So I could put screws, and then we're going to tap them with 3/8 dowel rods. Okay, now we have to do the front. Oop, lost one of those. Okay, what we'll do is we'll end up putting plugs in these. That's all you have to do to sand it off. If you're going to paint it, you know, you won't see the plugs anyway if you paint it. Okay, let's put some wheels on this thing. So it looks like. Like this. And then if you don't have one of these little saws, it's probably best to try to get one. They come real handy. They're very inexpensive. I think this is like $4 or something like that, and they are sharp. Well, at least the ones I've had so far. Okay, real easy. And then the handle, I'll use this one. And then we'll plug these holes all up with some dowel rods, so you won't see those. See how nice that little works. Come in handy, that little saw does. Yep, and then come all the way. I'll cut my thing up, but that's okay, I'll paint it. And then glue them down in there, paint them up, and then that's what you got. Nice little trike there. I think the hardest, like I said, was probably putting this here on. And just holding it. That's the hardest thing, holding them up. If you have a couple 1x or got a 1x laying around, 1x8, that's all you need to build this with. It's really simple. I'll bring this other one up. The only thing I've done, you know, actually they're the same thing, but I want to tear this apart so I can go ahead and paint it. I'm only going to do a paint, like maybe paint the seat of it red, maybe yellow for these parts here, green for this part, you know, just orange in the back, just kind of make it different colors. Okay, we got one last piece. This is the piece that goes on the back here, and just center it up, you know, just like this. So we're going to get a measurement here for the center. Okay, so I need a staple put in there. Finish up your little plug holes here. Sand it up really good because you really want to make sure it's sanded so there's no rough edges. Paint it, do what you want to do to it. Nice little project to get into, especially for this coming spring. You know, you kids might have a small child or something you like to take a picture, but that's what they're basically made for. Is they're called props, you know, picture props, and people use it just to take pictures and stuff. But you could, if a kid wanted to ride on it, they can ride on it. Just glue up these ends here real good, them little hubcap things, whatever you call them, and cut them off real nice and whatever size you want them, and just maybe leave a little space for the wheels to move. You know what I'm saying, like that. So, okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll go ahead and put this up here. You can see we got two of them here, and it's a lot of fun making. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and hit that like button. I really appreciate that. It helps the channel out a lot. And thanks for watching, and have a great day.